All right, good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday, December 4th. We're taking a look at NQ this morning. We've got a big gap higher today. Yesterday, pretty much closed as an inside day. You did have that very late day, kind of after hours rally there, just shy of the all time high, right into 340, which is the prior all time high, right in this area right through here. And now we have a gap higher. So we don't have any actual levels of interest to work with up in this area. My definition of a level of interest, anyway. Nearest level of interest is going to be down into 340. That would be my ideal scenario for this morning, a retest down into 340. We may or may not see that actually pan out. That would be one of the top scenarios for me personally. As far as off the open here, gap rules do apply. We have a big gap higher, so I'll be looking to see how that opening 5-minute bar sets up and closes, and that'll kind of determine the approach for the first 30 minutes. We do have a data print at 9:45 this morning, as well as 10 a.m. So it'll kind of be an interesting morning here with this pretty large gap higher. Won't be in any rush off the open for any exposure. That's for sure. We want to see how that opening 5-minute bar is gonna close. If buyers are continuing to step in and kind of show a gap and go sort of setup, or if we get the gap and crap, that gap fill sort of play. Which again, that for me that would be favored. I'd like to see some retest into 340, kind of see what the reaction into 340 is going to be. Backdrop remains neutral bullish. We flipped bullish on Monday session, right? We talked about that. Maybe not on Monday's live stream, but definitely in the think tank. Yesterday you get the inside day, not all that surprising to see this action overnight. I would prefer, of course, for that to happen during the regular session, but not the case. So we got about 90 seconds till the open here. NQ pretty much in no man's land. Let's see how that open sets up, what we're working with as far as that opening 5-minute bar. Just take it from there. Just take it from there. You do have session volume point of control right here at 420, 420. So a big concentration of volume from that overnight session right here into this 420 area. Overnight high is 457. Your prior day high is down there at 330, right near that prior all-time high. So what are we talking about as far as the actual percentage here? 0.5% higher. Looks like ES gapping up as well. Russell still in that prior day range. We're going to have a mixed bag across the indices again. Few seconds till the open. Now, what you can do if you want some more reference points is take a fib for that overnight move. You'll start to see that 50% fib right there at 21,381, which loosely aligns with VWAP. That's the sort of play that you want. Take a look at that gap. Huge gap. There's fresh lows on NQ. Down into 21,400. So again, just staying patient here off the open. Still have 2 minutes before that 5 minute bar closes. Currently shaped like a doji. That opening 5 minute bar. Just following those gap rules. The old gap rules. And that first 5 minute bar closes up here in 30 seconds. So far, no real direction. Just a doji. Doji, doji. Staying patient here. Still no direction on NQ this morning. We do have 400 holding. That is that 38% fib retracement of the overnight move. There's NQ retesting the lows. You do have VWAP right there. New low of day being made on NQ. Let's see how this VWAP is going to be treated. VWAPy. And don't forget we have that first data print of the morning here in about 5.5 minutes. There's your fresh lows being made on NQ. Approaching that 50% fib again from the overnight move. My main preference remains a push into 340. 21 340. So first data print of the morning in 3 minutes. Personally, still cash. Buyers trying to defend this VWAP area. NQ still here at VWAP as we get into this first data print. Let's take a look at the profile. So session volume point of control still up there at 420. Buyers still trying to defend this VWAP area, 21,400. Data in 30 seconds. There's your data print, tape dancing a little bit. Price bumping into that session volume point of control. Pretty choppy open so far. Yeah, that's a big doji on that opening 15-minute bar. And NQ right back here into the session volume point of control. Buyers looking for a break of 420 now. It's where all the volume is still concentrated from that overnight action. Volume a bit lower than I would like to see. It is worth mentioning we do still have that Powell speech later, as well as Fed's beige book. That's this afternoon, 1:45 and 2 p.m. NQ making a push for the highs here. Session high at 436. Up through that 420 we mentioned a minute ago. That's the session volume point of control. Sellers so far have had zero luck closing that overnight gap. It's the nature of the current backdrop. See if 420 starts to hold as support now. There's a look at the 5-minute regular trading hours chart. And NQ just shy of the highs, session highs. NQ back into 420. Next data print is in 7 minutes. See if NQ gives us a session high here. If you found yourself in that NQ VWAP long, this is your target zone. Pretty choppy morning so far. NQ right into session highs. See, do we have a new high yet? There it is. New high of day being made on NQ. Buyers will be targeting that overnight high now. Their next upside reference point. And that is 457, 21,457. What time frame is the chart? This one's 1 minute. And this one down here is 15 minute. Bottom left is 15 minute. NQ, a little pullback here into that session volume point of control. Still near that 420. What's our intraday range? Looking at 53 points. So we got 10 a.m. here in 2 minutes. See if we get some better action post 10 a.m. Definitely don't want to overdo it in this chop. Especially considering Powell later. Fed's beige book today. NFP on Friday. MCS on Friday. Friday could be a wild one. And then tomorrow we have jobless claims as well. Yeah, main objective here is to not get chopped up. Primary focus. So here's that data print, 30 seconds. Tape starts to accelerate a little bit. There we go. It's waking up now. Wakey wakey. NQ into the lows. No new low of day made just yet. The 30-minute opening 30-minute bar, the session closed as almost a perfect doji there. Buyers again trying to defend that 21,400, that VWAP area. Still have that volume point of control overhead, right near 419, 420. It's a decent little push there. And if buyers can push up through 420, just be looking at the session high. Very, very tight range trading right now. Buyers looking for that 435 area now. 435, 440 session high. NQ just trading in a very tight intraday range, about a 50-point range. Pretty clear here on the 5-minute. We are post 10 a.m. now. See if a new high is going to be made. New high of day. Decent little bounce there post 10 a.m. Not bad. I'm going to have that VWAP there. 10 a.m. reversal time down near the lows. Kind of interesting. Not bad, not bad. See if we get that new high. New high of day. 439. What is that? 441. 441 and a half. And with a new high of day, we'll be looking at overnight high, like we talked about earlier. There's your new high. Can raise those trails in any longs. New high of day and Q. See if we get the push into overnight high now. Overnight high is up at 457. For good old NASDAQ. Pretty limited acceptance there into the session high. Then Q pulls back into that range. Got the trail at 424. There we go. Can raise those trails. We're just shy of the overnight high now. 457. Raise them, he said. There we go. Look at that push. Very nice. That's how you know shorts are getting annihilated. You see a big expansion move like that on volume. Stops just got plowed through. That's what that means. Need another market structure here. Micro, higher, low. And raise those trails again. Yeah, break and retest would be solid. Anything that makes money. That's right. All right, tighten the trail to 442. Let Mish have my contracts. The handoff. The old handoff. Overnight high, some sellers showing up there. Let me see the trail taken out here in a minute. There's the trail. Back to cash. Back to cash. Couple of decent setups there. Like the 10 a.m. reversal at VWAP. Now, main focus is whether buyers can show some acceptance above that overnight high, make a push for the 21,500 upside reference point. Looks like ES into session lows. Got YM into the lows. Russell with some churn, barcode action. NQ once again on its own. Has been the theme for this week. NASDAQ. Was your stop under that 838 low on your chart? I always use structure for stops. Market structure, always. So whatever the local structure is, stop goes below there. ES 1 minute looks like an illiquid penny stock. Yeah, ES has not been trading great lately. Tight ranges, not a choppiness. NQ has been solid though. Been solid. Some decent action. Today's not great for NQ so far, but the day is young. Still got Mr. J Powell later. Russell's into VWAP. NQ rejecting that overnight high. A little bit of an upthrust of that overnight high. Back into session volume point of control right there at 420. Look at that 5 minute. Not super compelling action on that 5 minute chart. Any write ups on setting trails and stops? For stops, I like to use market structure always. So basically, you have a trade idea, and I like to identify where on that trade idea am I flat wrong, just purely incorrect, and then set the stop right there. So it's purely based on market structure, not dollar amount or anything like that. If the dollar amount ends up being too wide for the stop that I want, then you drop size, trade lighter size. And then for trails, trails are going to be a little bit trickier depending on how you like to trade. Typically, trade management and trailing on a trade should be something that is worked on once you actually have some baseline of profitability. Then you can use trails as a way to extract more from the trade ideas. But if you haven't yet established a nice foundation of profitability, it's probably too soon to work on trailing out of trades, in my opinion anyway. Because it adds too many degrees and too many kind of variables to work on at one time, which just lengthens the learning curve by so much. You're trying to work on all these different kind of avenues, all these different pillars. But once you do have that kind of baseline of profitability, I like to trail with microstructure. So lower time frame, very low time frame market structure. Here's NQ back into the highs. Session volume point of control holding as support. Retesting overnight high. So we do have a series of higher lows here. Let's see if buyers can force that session high. Then maybe that next higher low will materialize at the overnight high. That'd be a pretty good reference point. Yeah, volume point of control is your friend. Definitely. A decent little re-entry there. I did not get involved personally. So NQ bumping into that overnight high. There's like current structure. I mean, it's very tight. The action's very tight here, but there's your initial low, higher low, higher low. Let's see if we get another higher low. Maybe one scenario to look for potentially. Volume is starting to taper down a bit. You've got that first print below minimum threshold right here. So it's one thing I'm keeping an eye on as well, especially with Powell later. Oh man, you guys are funny. Yeah, Mish definitely had a good sesh. He's already thrown donations around. NQ just churning right up against that overnight high here. Just two trades so far on my end. Staying patient now. Not my favorite kind of action here. So we're at about 60 points on the morning. Two longs. Not a lot to work with given current location. Like I mentioned at the start of the stream, much prefer levels of interest. Those are going to be the highest or strongest setups for what I like to do personally. Hopefully no one's getting chopped up. How's everyone doing anyway? Let me know. How's the morning? Green, partial winner on YM. Good. Flat. Boring morning. Small red. Stayed out of the chop. I did terrible in the first, then amazing after. I'm chop suey. Oh, that's not good. That is not good. Took the 10-12 short. Was that the up thrust? Nice. Solid. Solid. Gotta be careful shortening this tape. Gotta be careful. Gotta keep those ones real tight. Tight management. If NQ closes above 340 today, we'll be seeing the intermediate term backdrop switch to bullish from neutral. So we'll see what Powell has to say today. But volume's really tapering down here. I think this is probably a good time. Good time to call it. Main scenarios I'm looking for later this morning. Break above overnight high, retest. Kind of keeping with the theme of the higher lows that we've seen here. Or if there's going to be just a sideways range day, I'll look at some action down near the session low. Right now, 5 minutes, just kind of setting up into some barcode. We got Russell still sitting on the VWAP. YM near the lows. ES, a little bit of a bounce there near the prior day high. And then NQ, of course, on its own, trading up against the session high. So NQ, keeping with the theme this week, just trading on its own relative strength. There's your new high in NQ. New high of day. Good old new high. Upside reference point at 21,500. It's likely going to be a big psychological level for NASDAQ. About 25 points higher. All right, folks. Thanks for jumping into the stream. Nice morning. All things considered, made the most of the action. Just two trades on my end. Two longs. There they are. I'll post the executions in the chat later if you want to take a look. But thanks for your time. We'll keep it going in the think tank. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.